Preteens, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today I'm going to be making PERLER art with like this little pegboard right here. I don't know if there's a way to zoom in. Let's see, can I do something with this to zoom in? Where is webcam? Here we go. Properties. The zoom, it does nothing. Okay. Okay, well, I can flip it. I have not tested this part. Is this view good enough? Do you guys want it like more zoomed in? I think more zoomed in. Probably be better. I'll do that. Okay. Well, I suppose I could probably do it like this. And then just move it to the bottom. Looks a little blurry. Can I fit two of these guys side by side? Yes. And I put another one up top. Okay, we said to get a little bit of the glare up there, but I don't think there's anything I can do about that. And I've got expandability out to a 4x4 board, which is good. I don't think either of the designs that I'm going to be building today are going to require 4x4. I think I can build them both on a one board here. So a little bit of thing about PERLERs. So with the board, as you can see, if you need an additional board, they have this little hook where you can just lay down another board, and now they're hooked together. So you can see where the hook is underneath, and if you look underneath the board, there's a little cutout right here that sits on top of the hook. So you can expand this out by however many boards you need if you need a bigger board for a design. There are 29 pegs across and 29 pegs high on each of these boards. So if your design, like you can see right over here, my little Altare design, I say mine, it's not mine. This design is based on the art wow, all the words have just left my brain. I'll touch on this again in a moment, but this is based on the official artwork from HoloLive. Okay, so I think my designs today will fit on a board like this, and then I've got these, which is how I house my perler beads when I'm making. Got a fine set of tweezers right there. These are the official like perler tweezers, and I've just got a bunch of these, so I'm not used to that. But you're gonna want to like get a pair of these like metallic ones that come to like a super fine point. If you're gonna be digging around with perler beads, and look what I just did. It would be the two hardest colors to tell apart that I mixed together. These are copper, and these are gold. And if you can't tell, the only difference is that these are a little bit translucent, and these aren't. So, the only way I found to actually tell these apart, when they're not in like a big batch like this, is to shine a light through it. These will glow orange, and these will glow like kind of a beige color. Anyway, I've got many little trays like this. This one with like orangey colors in it. This one that has black and green colors going up to some blue colors. Got another one here that starts with clear at the bottom, and then green and like turquoise colors. And then I got this one, which starts with like turquoise type colors at the top, and obviously goes very blue by the time you get down to the bottom. So I've got those four. I've got this one, which is some grays, and then we start getting into purples here at the bottom. And then we start with purples at the top, and we start getting into reds down towards the bottom of this one, and then with glow in the dark pink here in the corner. Then we start with the pinks, and we go back through some light orange colors into the white and yellows. And then in my last box here, I have the last of the yellows up top, and then specialty beads. All these are striped. So these are black and white. This is green and a darker green. This is a purple and blue. This is a orange and red. A light blue and dark blue. Green and white, and pink and dark pink. So, yeah, I have plenty of perler beads. You have to be like ready for any like, what would the word be? Man, I am losing all of the words today. Chromatic? I gotta be ready for any chromatic possibilities, right? Okay. So put that there. I'm gonna start with this one. These little trays that I'm using have a bunch of like smaller ones, and then a double-sized tray here at the bottom. So you have a bunch of smaller ones, and then a double size. And I use these for the colors I'm going to be using the most during the build. So in this case, you almost always use a lot of black whenever you're building like anything out. And so I mean, there's not a whole lot of black on Altair here. Oh yeah, I was going to mention Altair. The two choices that I've made for the perlers I'm going to be making today is this one here, who Regis Altare from Hollow Stars English. When the Hollow Stars English debuted, they debuted as the Tempest Guild, and they all have a guild card that was on their debut stream. Well, on the guild card, there's a little pixel art version of themselves. So I pulled up their stream, like clipped the guild card, and then redrew this guy based on the artwork on the guild card. So this is Regis Altare as he appears on his own guild card. Now I have this pulled up over here on this side on my second monitor. And perler design basically goes like this. You just start setting down the beads. Okay. I'm starting down here in the bottom, like left hand corner, where we got 3 black beads in a row for his foot. And then 1 there. And then it looks like we got 3 going up right here. I've always found making perler art to be a pretty fun thing until I screw it up and have to redo a whole image because I messed up. Okay. Is that what I'm seeing right there? Yep. We got another bead right here. And then we got another 2 right here. One there. One there. Two more right there. Okay. So we got 2 up, 1 over. We got 2 more right there. And we go out to right here. Two more right there. All right, and we got 2 more that are kind of free-floating a little ways off here. So, boom, boom. We want these 2 right here. Yeah, because we've got 2 spaces right underneath that going over to that one. Black is always never easy to see on these type of things, but it'll lighten up as I start putting a lot more colors in. Okay, now with this bead right here, skip 1 and then go up and put another one down. Then we have a little Tetris piece. I tend to think of these when I'm laying down beads as Tetris pieces, right? The little tetraminos? Tetraminos? Is that what they're called? I think that's what they're called. You see right here? We got this little, like, Tetris piece. So we have a single block and then we have the little L-shaped Tetris piece. And that... Okay. So now... we need to go across to the bottom part here. And it looks like we have 2 beads right there. Two more right there. And then that top one goes off by 1. And then we have 2 more right here. Like that. Creating kind of a plus pattern right there. And then we go into another little Tetris piece. Right here. With 2 there and then 2 more. Right like that. And now, if you can see on the little guy over here, we are right down. In fact, let me see if I can make this do that. Oh. Okay, well, you can see my little cursor on there now. This is the area that I just put in, this little Tetris piece shape right there. Now I'm going to be doing this part of the other foot, starting with this line right here, which is 3 down, it looks like. So coming off the corner of that Tetris piece, we got 3 down, and then we have another little Tetris L piece down there at the bottom, right underneath it. Do a barrel roll. I played this game on stream. Alright. And beside that Tetris piece there, we have 3 going up, and then sitting on top of that, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1 to this side, and it looks like 2 this side. Oh. And then 2 up right there. And now this is the part that I just made right here. So now we're going to hit up this diagonal column right there. So we need 4 beads for that. Oh, come on. Sometimes they like to get stuck on your tweezers here. Okay, so now we've got those 4 diagonal beads right there. Okay, that was me testing to see if that light would help. There's a light directly above the table right here, but if I turn it on, it creates a horrible glare on the board here. Alright. So now we're going to make this really long piece here, and then go up into this part right there. So that is 5 little beads high. Okay. So it comes off the corner of that one. There's 2. There's 4. And then right at the top, it goes over 1. So 5 beads up and over 1. And then we have a shape that is not a tetramino. Those tetraminos can only use 4 block pieces. I see a lot of people that are like making Tetris style games, and they have like 5 segment and 6 segment blocks on there. And there's no, you can do that. But like at that point, it's not technically Tetris anymore. Because all the blocks in Tetris contain exactly 4 segments. Okay, so from that, we go down 2. And then over 1, and drop those 2 right there. And that is these 2 blocks right here that I just dropped down. Now, we're going to build up this last section of black pieces right here. And then it looks like we'll be done with black. We can move on to another color. In this case, I think I'm going to start moving on to these blues, because there's a lot of blue in Mr. Regis Altare here. And in fact, like all of the head doesn't have any black in it at all. And when I was redrawing these, I took a few liberties with the colors because I couldn't quite make out all of the color design on it. And I'm limited with the amount of colors that I have working with perler beads. Okay, so there's that little design. And now we go up this way. And you may notice, as you get working with beads more and more, you'll pick up tricks like picking up 2 beads at a time, one on each end of the tweezer, and laying down two beads at once instead of just one at a time. But it's perfectly fine when you're first starting this if you just pick up 1 bead at a time and work it like that. Perfectly fine. And you'll start getting the hang of placing the beads down where they're supposed to be, and little like patterns you can see on the board. Like with placing those beads, I knew that there would be a 4x4 square right here in the middle. That is this portion right here. You see there's a little 4x4 square there, and then these 2 are on the corner of that square. So I block out that square, and then I just place those 2 on the corner. And then you can measure it with these beads right above it. You always want to check and double check your bead placement, especially when you're placing a border color like this, because it's entirely possible that you think you've placed all the beads correctly. You'll get to the other side of the thing, and all of a sudden your bead pattern doesn't line up anymore. Yeah, happens all the time, happens to me all the time. Greetings, welcome. Making perlers today. I think that is it for our black. Oh, no. We do have some green. Okay. We have 2 types of green. So I think this green would work well for the under eye piece. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out 3 of these and set those aside for when we're filling in the eyes. And we want a slightly darker color of green for the top of the eyes. And I think these will work perfectly for that. Okay, so that's all the beads that I need right there for the eyes. So I don't have to pull this tray back out when I'm making that part of the perler a little bit later on. And you can see the colors that I'm using so far. I've used black. For the lighter color green, I'm using shamrock. And for the darker one, I'm using dark green. So for the eyes, I'm using dark green and shamrock, and then these are black. All the colors that I have are from PERLER brand. So if you're wanting to replicate this guy, afterwards I'm gonna tweet out the finished product once I get the product finished. I think I might need this one, but I think the colors that I'm going to be looking for are actually in here. Look at all these pretty blues I have to pick from to build this guy with. Okay, we want that dark blue outline on the hair, but that's not strictly dark blue. That looks more like a turquoise. But it's not this turquoise. No, because I'm placing the beads with tweezers. And plus the gloves that I have here, the reason that like I have these like copper fit fingerless compression gloves, and then surgical gloves underneath that, so that I can still do like fine thing, because this is basically like my fingertips. Yeah, and I'm not blasting out the camera with bright blue hands. So because this is with like tweezers, it's a lot easier. So I'm thinking this turquoise color here is going to be the primary hair color. So this color right here, I'm thinking that'll match up pretty good with this turquoise color. I'm thinking this color right here is actually going to match up pretty good with sky right there. But then that darker blue color. Let's see what I have here. This color might actually match up with that a little bit better. This is called Lagoon. This one is too bright. This one isn't quite dark enough to be that dark color, I don't think. So which one would I say is better, Sky or Lagoon? I think we'll actually go with Sky. Okay, I think I don't need this green section. We can find everything we need right here in the blues. So for the darker blue, I might just go with this color here, which is neon blue. Really? Wow, I'm gonna be using a neon color. I think it just matches the aesthetic. I mean, it's not a perfect match for that hue, but I think it'll work for everything I need it to work for. And then these like super dark areas right here are not black. Those are actually a very dark blue. So I can go ahead and lay those down with dark blue. Okay, so right off of this guy, we're showing 2 up. And then right here. So that's where those 2 blue guys are gonna live. And then right next to them, right there, got those guys. Then, right on top, 2 more happy little blue guys. Like a Bob Ross perler. Okay, and then 2 more right there. And I can tell I'm going to be going off the top of this onto another sheet. Which is going to make storing this guy a little bit problematic if I have to do that. Okay, so but now I've got room in case we go up, and I may end up going off this way as well. Okay. Oh no, these are 1 peg too high. Okay. That's the design that I see right here. And I'm wondering if I might even need to go a little bit darker than that. Because looking on here, it looks like it's a little bit too bright. But then laying that next to like one of these, I think the dark blue might actually serve So there's a little bit better. Okay, so let's set these aside for the moment. And I have a darker blue here called Midnight. That's right here. That I think matches that dark, almost black a whole lot better. Okay, so off the top of this guy, we have the two, and put those two right there. And then we have two more right there, right there, and then right there, and then this guy right there. Yeah, that lines up a lot more with these beads right here, color wise. Look right through here. And I need to figure out a way to kind of try to illuminate this board a little bit. Because when I'm building just black on here, it's really hard to see with the lighting that I have to use. Because I can't turn on like direct lighting right above. Because it creates horrible glare on the board here. Okay, do I have any more of these wonderfully dark blue pieces that I need? I don't think I do. But there is a lot of purple that I'm going to be coming back for. Wow, this shows up as very blue on the camera. But it is in fact very purple IRL. Okay. So my camera is changing like the color value of the beads a little bit. Put that back over there. All right, now with those placed down, I think we can go ahead and start just laying down these dark blue as the outline for his hair. And we can start right here because we got 4 blue beads right behind those. And then it comes off like that. And then we have 2 going down. 1 more at the bottom. And then we build up like this. So a little ways up like that. So we got that little Tetris piece down there at the bottom. And then it looks like we have 2 more on top of that. And then right above that, we have a square. Like that. Alright, now we're getting into some complicated patterns up here. So with that square, we have a little piece like that. And we can expand that out to a rectangle. So we have kind of like a rectangle and a square thing going on. And where we are in the image is right here, building this part. And then we have a single bead off the bottom of the rectangle over here. And then off the top of the square, oh no, off the top of the little rectangle there. So that should be 5 down, 3 up, and then 2 more just like that. Yeah. And now we're actually on to the second board up top. All right. Now with those two placed, we can place down these two, and then two more right back there. Then we got three across. We got that little thing happening right there. And then that goes two up. Straight from here. Oh no, it's stuck. Okay. So now we got this little section here that we built, which is mirroring this part right here. So now we're gonna go ahead and place down this square here that the cursor is on top of, and then start building the outline back around to here. Okay. One, two, three, four, and then on top of those, we have two there. And then we have that one right there. Below that, looks like we get two going out like that. And then it looks like we have a glitch on my image there. But that's a whole nother bead that's supposed to go right there. And then we have that one to kind of seal off that little circle area. And we are currently right here. Now, going down around the outside, like that. And it looks like we got 5 beads down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're butting right up against the midnight beads that we have there, and right there, and right there, and then one more right on top, just like that. And there we go. We got the whole like left side of the hair outlined. And if any of you guys were watching the stream yesterday, and I know some of you were, this is probably a pretty big departure from that. Like, how do we go from killing God to making perlers? Yep. That's just how it works. And I've been thinking about the ending to Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16 spoilers if you don't want, like, switch off stream right now for like a minute. But the way that game ended, like, yeah, I know, right? I mean, you gotta space them out or you're gonna run out of gods. But the way it ended, you could process that as the whole thing was just a book. Like that, I mean, that's, in theory, that's a possibility. That Joshua Rosfield was just a writer and he made the whole thing up. Final Fantasy was just the novel that he wrote. probably not the most exciting take, but it's a possibility. Because there's nothing in that like little end credit scene that actually hints that anything that happened in the main story of the game was true. They kind of hit you with that like Inception or Matrix ending there. I mean, that's one thing I liked about the latest Matrix movie that they made. Uh, the one that just came out, Revelations. Because of the spoilers for Matrix Revelations, if you haven't seen it, um, that movie kind of ends the same way. Like the way that they frame it is that the first Matrix trilogy was just a computer game. Okay. So we got that, we got 2 over, and this goes right here. That the Matrix was a best-selling computer game. And then it was so good that they made him make, the guy who made it, Mr. Anderson, they made him make 2 more. And that was the original Matrix trilogy. And it was so popular because he brought in the idea of just a random computer programmer. Okay. So here is one of the issues that I mentioned, where sometimes you get around to the other side and your design doesn't line up. This design should be 1 beat over from where it is. So that should be continuing down like that. And this should be like that. King's Quest and Space Quest. You know, I have all of those games on GOG. They are 100% absolutely in my library. Okay. Let me see if I can figure out where I misplaced a bead here. 2 over. Right, here's where I misplaced the bead. That bead doesn't belong. And all of these need to scoot over 1. Yeah. Sometimes they like to stick. Who knew? Okay. Now let's make sure that this pattern is correct and that it lines up. Three down, 3 out, then 2, then a little Tetris piece, then 2, then 1, then 4. Then 2, then 3. Space, space. Little Tetris piece, then 2, then 1. And bam. Okay. That is the outline part for the hair complete. Yes, they are definitely games that I'm interested in. I want to eventually do a bunch of like retro games and things on the channel. And a lot of the old like text-based games from the 80s and 90s totally up my alley because I grew up playing a lot of these games. So a lot of this stuff is completely inside my wheelhouse. All right. So which one of these colors? Maybe this one? Or that one? So for this part of the hair right here, this inner part that's darker than the rest, which color do you guys think works better? Turquoise all the way up here in the corner, or pastel blue right here? Or I guess maybe light blue down here. That one, or that one? I'm thinking it's between these two for me. I had not, but it does sound interesting. Like my problem is I have so many games that I want to play. Like I've got the entire rest of the year on the channel already plotted out. I think I'm gonna go for light blue. How's that look? Compared to, say, this. Definitely light blue, I think. Okay, so starting from right there, we got a little Tetris piece of light blue out here. Got another piece right there. And we got a little angle, like corner piece going on right here. And directly across from that, and right here. So yeah, speaking of my Final Fantasy stream, it got copyright claimed. Nothing that any of you guys have to worry about because you can still see it. But it is actually restricted in Russia. So my last stream just can't be viewed in Russia for some reason. Which honestly I'm not too terribly upset about. I don't think I have any audience in Russia. I have a little bit of an audience in India. I think that is because my name is Narishm, and that name has references in some Far Eastern religions out there. I think there's a legendary figure named Narishm or something like that, and then there's a character from Wheel of Time named Narishm. Not who my character was named after, by the way. I did not read Wheel of Time until 2019. Is when I actually sat down and read through the Wheel of Time in its entirety. And I have been using Narishm as my screen name since 2004. Oddly enough, it was Final Fantasy that yeah, Russia has issues, and I'm not terribly concerned about my content not being available in Russia while this whole Ukraine thing is going on. Because I try not to get political on my channel, but like I'm with Ukraine on this because yeah, Putin is just blah. And I know people that have been displaced from Ukraine. And hell, there are content creators in the community that have been displaced from Ukraine. Like content creators that I watch that were displaced. Like there's a content creator named Zepla HQ that makes Final Fantasy XIV content. And I've watched a lot of her stuff, and she was living in Kiev when it was attacked and she had to flee. And that's crazy. Having to just like get up and leave and like leave all of your stuff behind. Like that's crazy. And I think that's one thing that people in the US don't understand, because we've never had any kind of like army invade the US before. We've gone out to other countries, we've warred amongst ourselves every once in a while. But we've never had a foreign army invade. Oh, she is. She's back to making content. Just not in her home of the Ukraine anymore. But yeah, she got out okay. She's doing good. She's making content and stuff again. I recently watched a video of hers where she went nuts on her audience because everybody was saying she's 42. And I don't know, it's funny, but it's like I can get why you're upset. But she ended up Googling herself because somebody in her chat said she was 42. And she's like, no, I'm not. And then she Googled herself, and like Google and like 20 other websites all said she was born in 1980. And she's like 10 years younger than that. Yeah, I can kind of see the upset, especially with ladies, because they at the best of times, most of them do not want to discuss their age. So now when you have the whole internet saying that she's 10 years older than what she actually is, like, yeah, yep, I can see the upset a little bit. Okay, now right there, like that. Yeah, because we're building a little Tetris piece right over here. That. So Altair's design has a cape. You can kind of see, that's what this is right here going behind. And that's the outline that I just placed right down through here. Was the background outline of that cape. All right. I'm gonna hold off on the sword, which goes out this way, because I'm gonna need to attach another board here to get the sword. So we will hold off on the sword until I get the rest of the pieces through here placed. Now there's a lot of these dark blue pieces that are going up through the actual design itself. Right here, got one. And then skip a block and go up. Got one right there. And then right on the other side, right there we got one. And right up here, next to that one, and then skip one and go over, and we got one right here. And then right in the middle, right on top of this, we go up two. And then we have one over here, and then two over to the other side. And then all the way over here, one right there. And we have two right there. And I do believe that is all of those blues that I need to place, apart from the sword. But we will come back to the sword later. I think Sky is gonna give us the color that we're looking for up here. Yeah, that matches up pretty well, I think. There we go. There we go. And right on top of that, pull this down here where it's easier to get at these guys. And then I think it's just really filling in with everything left up here in the head part, in the hair, is going to be the sky color, I think. And this isn't really hair, because if you look on his model, he's got these like glowy light bits. It's like light armor. And that's what I think this is right here. This is his light armor. Because he has a bunch of these pieces as kind of like a little light helmet. There we go. Bam. Okay, we do have a color variation coming up over here. So right over here, these two are blue, but those three are white. So we have three right there. We have two right below that. We have two right below that. And then one more right there. And then those three are white. This Tetris? It is. I was talking about Tetris earlier. Okay. Now we have a bunch of individual little like pinpoint spots to do right here. Oh, did I miss a light blue right here? I think I did. This one goes right there. And then we got that right there. And then right there. Okay. But on the other side of that, we got two going up just like that. Dead center of the cape right here. And then down here. Just like that. And then a single one right over here. Okay. Now, going back up here to the middle. Right here, we got two. And then here we have one. Right here we have one. Here at the end, we have one. And right here we have one. Okay, we have one right here. And right over here between these two light blue. And then one right here. And one right there. And I think that's it. I think that's it for those. And we're gonna need to come back to this tray again. When we are putting together the sword. Okay. So we pull that one out. Greens, I don't need that. Greens and clears. All right. Now we've got a bunch of white to place. White is another color you're going to need just tons and tons of. White, black, red, light blue, yellow. Just need tons and tons of all of these. Okay. Oh, I missed a piece right here. We have a white piece that goes right there. And right there. Yeah, Clive is actually coming next. Okay, then right here at the top, 2 pieces right like that. I figured Final Fantasy 16 would be a good place to start as well with the Perlers, since we just finished it. Right there. Right like that, right? Yeah. That looks right. And then right down here, top center of the foot. Alright, I'm gonna put a couple of white pieces up here for the sword, so I don't have to come back to this tray again, unless I've completely forgotten something. And right here we have one. Two. We got that one and that one. That little Tetris piece. One all the way down here and the one right there. Okay. So now for skin tones, what are we looking at? I think we're definitely looking at sand here. And maybe peach. Yeah, I think we're looking at sand and peach. Maybe tan. Yeah, we're definitely looking at tan for some of these. And I think light brown would be ones we have to bring out as well. But actually, no, I think sand is going to be the lighter colors of the face there. And this one, which is butterscotch, I think would be the shadowy areas of the face. And then tan is going to be kind of the offset to butterscotch. And then we need light brown. All right. Yeah, we're definitely going to be using light brown. And I think regular brown, like, yeah, regular brown too. Okay. Well, since we don't have that many regular brown pieces, let's go ahead and lay them down. Right here, looks like we're going to have a brown. And then right there. And then looks like 3 o'clock across. Right there. Two right there. And now we have the basis to build the eyes. That is my cue to switch up the music a little bit. Okay. So we got the eyes laid down, and we're placing the rest of the dark browns. Which we have right here. 2 more right there. 1 right there. And then down here in the hand. 2 right there. And 1 on either side. Right like that. Right there. Perfect. Okay. So those are butterscotch and those are sand. Okay. Let's go ahead and lay down the lighter colors of the skin. That. And like that. There. We got 2 right here. And then matching up at the bottom part of the eye right there. And going up 1 right there. And then 2 up right here. Just like that. Perfect. Alright, we'll just do a little bit of filling in. I think I can tie that back to Brick Road. A long time ago, there was a discussion that was happening on the Talking Time forums, of which I've been an on and off member. I guess it feels weird to say I've been an on and off member of Talking Time for over a decade now, but I guess I have. And yeah, Brick Road had just started making perlers at the time. And I'd spoken with him about it a couple of times. And yeah, I just decided, okay, I'm gonna order some beads and let's see what this does. Yeah, not terribly exciting, but you know, there you go. I saw Brick Road do it on stream. I'm like, okay, that looks cool. And so I ordered some and thought like did it a couple of times, and then like a whole bunch of like difficulties happened with like real life and all that jazz. Boom, boom, boom. Just there. We built a little Tetris piece. And I've always thought perlers were like pretty cool, and it's a cool way to get like a nice little bit of like memorabilia from some of your favorite games. But then I've also thought it's been a really cool way to tie in with your audience. And one of the things that I am planning on doing is I'm going to be starting up a Patreon for anybody that wants to like donate to the channel and whatnot. And one of the tiers on the Patreon is going to be a perler tier. So if you want me to make a perler, what I'm thinking about doing for this particular tier is you subscribe to the tier, and then I will make a perler for you on like a small one, like about this size. You pick the pattern, send me the pattern, or tell me what you want, and then we'll decide on the pattern. And then I'll make the perler on stream, and if you want, I can bring the person who ordered it into Discord, and we can chat on stream while I'm making the perler for them. Have it kind of like a whole like interactive thing. Okay, I'm looking for what color now? I think I've got all of these slightly darker pieces put down. All right, so do we want tan there? I think tan's gonna work really well. This one. Oh, I put that in the wrong spot. That one doesn't go there. It goes here. And we only have one more of this color. That right there. And then that's light brown. And then I'm trying to decide what color this bead right here is. Well, let us. I think it's gingerbread. I'm gonna use gingerbread for that one. Bam. I think that works. And we got light brown right here. And right here. And then we have a dark brown right here. Well, regular brown right there. I think that is all of those colors. So we've got dark gray, gray, maybe kind of a pewter blue. Maybe mist is the color of these, like little blocks right here. Blocks. These little pixels right here. I think that color is going to be mist. Okay. We'll go ahead and place those down as mist and put in the other blue that I was missing. We got those there. Right here. Right here. And then right here. Then down here in the shoe, either side of this white block. Sometimes you want to like stir up the beads like this, so you can get an alignment on a couple of the beads, so you can pick up 2 at a time. Okay. Right over here. Right there. And then right there and right there. This area we're going to be filling in with purple, I think, in a bit. Yeah. Okay, I've still got the 2 mists up here to do around these whites. There and there. And right over here. There, and right there. Just like that. Right over here. Right there. And then we got a little Tetris piece of these guys. Like right here. Come on. Bam. And a couple of pieces over here. Right there. Right there. I'm going to have to get a music option that is not YouTube. Okay. So I think that is all of these mist colored ones too. Yeah, so now we got purples and grays. And I think the majority of the purples and grays are actually in this same little container right here. Okay, so I think the 2 purples that we're going to be using are probably these 2. And then for the grays, definitely have dark gray. Maybe both of these. Okay. I think this color, although it doesn't look right on camera, it looks right in person. It's going to be the darker of the purple colors. And then this is going to hit the lighter notes of it. Because the track really blue on camera, but it's really purple in person. Is there a way that I can fix webcam? But it tracks a little bit better like that. Doesn't really seem that there's a whole lot I can do for color options here. Unless I just go light and lighter on it. This is purple, and this is pastel lavender over here. And this is lavender. So I could go purple and pastel lavender. Which I think, you know, I think that'll work. So for the darker areas, I'll hit up purple. Oops. I dropped the purple bead. I don't know where I dropped it. I think I dropped it here into glitter. I did. There's a purple one. There's a purple one. So these right here are glitter purple, and these are purple. Okay, so let's start putting in the purple ones from the bottom. Bam. Right like that. Then come over here. Under the brown, we got one right there. And then here. And right there. That would be the wrong purple. Okay. Got one right there, dead center. And then we've got a pair right here. Bam. All right. So right there. over here. Got one right there. And we got another pair of them. Right here. Yeah. And right directly across from that, right there. Bam, just like that. And then up here, like that. No, over one, right underneath the brown. In the corner, bam. If I had to nail down a color for that, right across the way, it would be this. Just like that. Two and then two down. Bam. And then we'll hit up this lighter color purple right here. Bam, just like that. What do you think? Starting to come together? All right, now over here, dropping both of these guys right here. Come on. Right there. Alright, and then right here we got two. And then down here we got two. And then we got what looks like three going up right through here. Right in the middle right there. And then right over here underneath these other two purple. Oh, no, that's the wrong spot. There we go. And then we got two more. Right over here. Bam, just like that. Another one right there. Alright, then we have two right here. Ooh. No, you don't go there, you go here. There we go. And we have the one right below that. These are grays right here in the middle. Alright, I think that is all for the purples. Okay. So we got some really dark grays. So these are charcoal and these are dark gray. And I think both of these colors are present here. Okay, so let's start with dark gray. I think right here at the end of brown, That's the color we're gonna place as dark gray. So we got those two right there. And then right here with these black ones, got one there and one there. And then we have one here. And then looks like we got two things going. Oh. Did I lose a bead? I think we had a jumper. Okay. Right here we got two grays. All right. Okay, so it looks like right here we have a gray right there. And then we have a gray right there. And that's one of the darker purple right here that I missed. Lovely. And we got the two black right there. We have this color that I'm missing. Is that one of the darker purple as well? Oh, that's one of these purple. There we go. Alright, and then right up around boom. And the super dark grays goes right there. Yep, we got that one. This goes here. Alright, and then right over here, we are in the model right around here. So we're filling in this part of the row right here. And we've got, looks like one of these purple, it goes right there. And then I missed what looks like a sky bead right there. Okay, and then we have a light brown that goes right there, so I need to pull that back out. Let's see. Just to double check, yeah. That one goes right there. Alright, now we're in this part right here. Filling in any little missing holes that we have. And it looks like we're back to grays. Because all of these pieces right here are gray pieces. There we go. Bam. Boo-yah. Look at that. Okay, and then one more of these guys. Right here below that. So I don't know what I'm going to do for the darker gray. I think I may just shift it over to charcoal here. First time we need one of these colored blocks. I think it's right here. And once again, I'm calling them blocks when they're not like actual blocks. I suppose I could use midnight. And tie it back to what I'm doing up here with the hair a little bit. So I have one stuck on the tweezers there. That might be a little bit of a better thing to do. Just fill those with midnight. Like, I think that actually works. Okay, and then down here we've got 3 spots for it. And we got light gray. And we got light gray going right here. Well, I say light gray. It's actually dark gray, but it's lighter than the surrounding gray. Okay. Goes right there. I'm gonna have 2 of these midnight beads right here. And we have that there. And 2 more right here. Just like that. And then right next to that was some more dark gray. There. Right there. Okay. Oh, there we go. 1, 2. Below that white piece, we have one of the mist pieces that I missed. I missed the mist. It goes right there. Yep. Okay, and then right here, next to that 4-off, we've got a light gray piece. Light gray, dark gray piece, I mean. And then we'll have a midnight right here. Okay. And missing now is over in this area. Okay. Come on. There we go. And then we're building a little Tetris piece right here with these dark gray ones. Alright. And then going a little bit more midnight right here. There we go. One and two. Okay. And we got light gray going on all over here. Right here. And then two pieces right here. And then one more right there like that. Alright, now let's take a look and make sure I did not miss anything. Okay, we got a little bit of a hole right here. We have a dark purple. No, we're looking for something even darker, so we'll hit that right there. Bam! I think that works perfect. All right. Now with this, we have those two right there. Now I think it's time to really start making this sword part appear. Bam. Okay, so now we can scoot this guy over here a little bit, and we need to add on another board so that we can build the sword out. And let's go ahead and get the gray pieces down that we need for it, which are those two. And another one right here. And that looks like maybe a slightly different hue right there in the middle. All right. Then we're done with that. And now we bring the blues back out to build up the sword here. Okay. And that was dark blue that I used there. Yep. So about two dark blues there. All right. Place those two right there. And those two right there. And then we got two more. And then it looks like three more right after that. One, two, three. and then 3 more on a step up. So we step up 1 and put down 3 more, and then we step up 1 and put down the tip of the blade. I like that. Perfect. And then it looks like we were using light blue for these other components here. Okay. And then 2 more past that. And then 3 more after that. Little blue one right there. And the last one right there. Then we can take the white ones that I had set aside earlier. Two of them right there. And 3 of them right there. Alright, and then we had sky. Two right there. Oh, come on. And then fill in the sword there. Okay, I guess we'll go one at a time because these sky beads are being problematic. Sometimes you're going to want to pick up multiple beads, but you're just not going to be able to. Because your hands go like stupid on you. You ever have that problem? You're trying to do something that requires maybe a little bit of finesse, but your hands just go stupid? I have that problem. Okay. Bam. There we go. What do you think? Does it match? Look pretty good? Oh, wait. I was about to say, I don't see any glaring holes, and then I look down, and I spotted a hole. Okay. Take one more of these midnight guys. Drop it in right here. Looks good. Okay. So, there's a couple things you can do from here. I'm going to go ahead and go through since it's got multiple boards. If you want to store them, you can take another perler board and put it down like right directly on top of it, like lining up all the beads, and then just kind of like tape the 2 boards together, and then you can store incomplete perler like that. When you're pulling the board off, you want to be very careful, because as you can see right here, 2 of the beads got stuck to the top board and decided to reorient themselves sideways. So that's a really good way to mess up your perler if you're not being super careful with it. Alright, let me grab some things from the side table here. Now there's a bunch of different ways that people iron these out. And there's a couple of different methods for ironing them. I'm going to use something called the mask and tape method. And I have this roll of 2-inch paper tape. So this is just like paper masking tape, and it's 2 inches because it's easier to apply it when it's like that. And so the idea of the tape method is that you're going to iron the inverse side of this piece, like on the back. So you're going to tape the top, and then you're going to pull the beads off of the pegboard with the tape, and then flip it over and iron the back side of it. So what you want to do is just tear off some strips of tape that are like roughly the size of the pegboard across the piece that you're wanting to go, and you just lay it down over top of the beads. Once you have it down, make sure you press down over all of the beads, and so you can start to see the outline of the beads through the tape. Make sure that you have all of that down. You want that tape adhering to every bead on there. And then continue across the entire piece. Be careful not to bump the boards, and when you're laying the tape across it, you want to overlap the tape by maybe 1/4 of an inch, like that. And it's okay if the tape is stuck down to the boards, because we're going to make sure that each one of these beads is adhered to the tape. Alright, this next piece is going to be a bit longer. Billy? Once I end up tearing it correctly. Alright, because we want to cover the entire bottom portion here, hopefully with the sword. Looks like I'm going to need one or two more little pieces of tape, and I can use the mistake tape over here to do that. Okay, so now we got the tape down, and we want to make sure that we press down to get the edge of the beads, and that all the beads are visible through the tape. Take something with a sharp point, and this is going to be the tedious part. Poke a hole in the middle of each of these beads. This is going to help dramatically with the tape sticking to the bead and with the melting. And so you can just start at the top and go across. But just make sure that you hit them all. Now, is this absolutely necessary for making perlers? No, it's not. You can skip this step if you want. But I'll show you in a second why I'm making sure to do this part of the procedure. And another like if you don't have like little tweezers like this, a ballpoint pen works perfect for this. Maybe even a little bit better, because a ballpoint pen is going to make the tape stick a little bit to the inside of the bead, which is just going to help out with what you're trying to do here all the more. There we go. We got about halfway done with them right now with regards to perler holes. Now there is another way that people have done this part in the past, and I'm going to show you that too. But there's a problem with doing that way, and that is using another perler board to poke the holes. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to subject you guys to this every single time I make a perler. Most of the time I'm going to make them and then I'm going to set them aside and do this in the ironing portion off stream. Because the fun part is actually building the guys up. And then I can iron them and then post them to like Twitter or YouTube as pictures afterwards for everyone to see. Okay, we got these beads right on the very edge, and see right there, one of them got caught and came loose. And it's being a pain to go back in there. Come on. Go on there. Really? You gonna make me pull out the other tweezers? Now, for all the problems that people say with the green tweezers, one problem that they do not have, that these do, is grabbing the beads. These metal ones do not always want to grab those guys. All right. Okay. Got all of that set there. Now let's get the sword set. Okay. So, now we have all the holes punched. Now, I mentioned there was another way to do it, and that is you can take another pegboard, put it down on top, and then just kind of push it down. You're gonna have to kind of hammer it in. The problem with this method right here is that you can see I've hammered it a little bit, but I really only got those little holes to go in. It actually takes a pretty tremendous amount of force to push these pegs through that tape right there. And most of the time, in order to actually get it done, I've had to actually pull it off, put it on the floor, and stand on it to actually get the holes to go through. And then when you're pulling the pegboard off, it tends to stick to this, and it'll mess up the beads on the other side of the board. So you can do that, and some people have argued for doing that in the past. I say don't do that. Once you get all the beads adhered, and pushing the tape through the center of the bead really helps with that. Now we can set that aside. The next part is the tricky part. So kind of pull the tape up and get the tape unstuck from the board itself, but try to keep the tape stuck together to each other. You want the tape off the board as much as you can, but you kind of want the tape to come up as one piece, because that's going to help with this next bit. And don't be afraid to use the tweezers to get in here and pull that tape up a little bit. Alright, so now what we're going to do is, once we get the tape unstuck from the board all around, and I would recommend holding the edge of the beads right there and just kind of pulling the tape straight to get it off the board. And then we're just going to kind of lift up and flip our guy over. There we go. And now we can take off the boards. The whole reason we use the tape is so that we can pull the beads in pattern off of the board. And so now I have all the beads stuck in their pattern, stuck to the back of the tape. And now, let me sort through my stack over here, figure out where I put my parchment paper. Oops. Okay. So now we have parchment paper. So you want to get yourself a piece of parchment paper, and you don't have to worry about like throwing out parchment paper. You can use all of these multiple times. Because as you can see, this one is a little bit yellowed. I've used this one multiple times to iron PERLER projects. So the parchment paper is 100% reusable. So now you get the parchment paper, put it over top of the PERLER, and you can see the PERLER kind of through the parchment paper. Now you need one of these guys, an iron. This comes the part where you actually make the beads stick together. The melty part of melty beads is happening right now. Okay, so got some dust and debris on top of my... Alright, so I'm gonna... You guys cannot see what's happening, but I am plugging up my iron. Yeah. Set that over there. Okay, so iron is on. You want to set this guy to about like a medium level heat. I typically set mine to like cotton or linen. I don't know if you can see that all that well. And then just kind of wait for it to start getting warm. Right, and you can kind of test it to see when it starts getting warm. Look, a little hair right there. Alright, and do be careful with a hot iron, because it is hot and it will burn. A marble, you mean for sticking the beads to the tape? Maybe. I would worry about the beads around the edge if you're using something like that. Because one, you don't want to crush the beads. And two, everything around the edge of it is more prone to pop off. And so you could end up having to redo a good portion of the PERLER if you are using something like a rolling pin to do it. Okay, so I can tell this is nice and hot right now. So now what we're going to do is just start ironing. And I'm going to show you. You kind of want to just get like an even amount of heat over it first. And you'll see that the beads kind of become very transparent through the parchment paper. Now you can leave it like this with all the holes open and the beads just kind of melted together for one type of way you do it. What I'm going to do is go over it with just like an even amount of pressure until we see the holes in the beads start to close up. That way I can get two different kinds of styles on the PERLERs that I make. Alright, and you can come back and do like individual sections if you need just like smaller sections to close up, but the majority of them are already closed. Do be careful of over melting, but there is something called flattening a PERLER that I find typically doesn't come as much from over melting as it does from the weight that you end up putting on this guy. And I should have had this better plotted out, I think. Oh. Me. I've got my book that I use to hold down my PERLERs, but for some reason I decided, you know, I don't need to pull that out. Let's pile everything on top of it. Cause why would I need that book? Right? You wanna get something big and beefy. Like this. Big, thick book. And plop it right down there on top of your perler. And you can unplug your iron so that that's not sitting right off to the side, all hot and bothered and everything. And the reason you want to put a big book on top of it is they tend to curl up when they're cooling down. So you want to prevent that from happening. And the way to go about that is to put a big book on top of it. For some reason, I have this round piece of glass that was hiding inside of this book. So I'll just put that back in there. Let's see. All right. Now we can set up for our next perler, which is Mr. Clive. Place that over there. Now, one thing I've found that you want to be very careful about is stacking perlers. It's tempting, like you got one perler here, and you know, just a wild piece of glass, and then you put your next perler on top, and then put another heavy book, and then next perler on top, and another heavy book on top of that. You don't want to do that, because although that's going to look great for the perlers on the top, the perler on the bottom is going to get squished, and you want the beads to be like half melted. But if you pile a bunch of weight on top of a perler, what you're going to end up with are beads that are like 3/4 of the way melted, because these beads are still pretty hot when you first put them underneath the book here. So if you put any like extra weight on top of this, other than just like one book, you're going to end up with a squished perler. So you do kind of want to avoid that. All right. I need to clean up my little side table here. All right. Let's scoot this over. And we're gonna move our little Altare right over here to my side table. And return the book. Just let him kind of chill and live over here while we set up Clive. All right. Now, the reason that we went through all the trouble with the tape to pull the perler off of the board is because you don't want to iron it directly on the board. You absolutely can do that, but the boards are also made of plastic, and so you could, and quite often do, end up warping the boards if you try to iron them directly onto the board. All right, so now we're moving from Hollow Stars to Final Fantasy, and we have young Clive here as our perler that we're going to make. This is the same young Clive from the menu in the game. I ended up pausing it and just going through and like clipping out all of these little sprites here so that I can have a set. Yeah. Right now, I've only got young Clive, Torgal, young Jill, and young Joshua. So I'm going to be trying to space these out over the next coming weeks. And like right now, I've got the next 8 of them like set aside. Because I'm going to go through all of Hollow Stars Tempest. And I'm going to make a Final Fantasy character alongside each of those. And then when I'm finished with Tempest, we'll see where we are and where we are going. So once again, I'm going to start with Clive. I'm going to start down here in the bottom corner this time. Because I know that his back foot there, in fact, I'm going to scoot it a few steps forward. But there's no spot lower than his back foot. So if that's all the way down here at the bottom, we're going to be good. And we're looking at 3 up. And then looks like 3 more in front. And then we got 2 in front of that. And then we got a little angle piece coming off of that. Like this. Alright, so we got 3. Then goes forward 3. And then we got that little lightning bolty piece there. Alright, and then we got 2 right there. 1 right there. And then looks like we're going 3 down. All right. So that's actually row 5 right there. All right. 1. Bam, just like that. 2 down, okay. And now from that corner, we got 2 up. Piece there. 2 across there. There we go, 2 up. All right, and then got those 2. Another piece right there. Look, 2 there. And 2 there. And then we got 1 right here. Right there. Little squiggly part right there. I have not, but then on the same notes, I've not heard anything good about those beads. Like all the reviews and everything that I've seen about them, says that they're tragic. Okay. A little Tetris piece. You got 2 up, and then 2 across, and then 5 across to the very top. Yeah, like there may be like 1 or 2 people out there that gets them to work properly, but like they seem more of like a gimmick thing than anything else. Because there's a lot of things that fuse when melted in nature, right? It's kind of like a common occurrence in nature. The things will melt together and then fuse together. There are not a lot of things in nature that fuse when wet. And most of the time, those are chemical reactions that are either A, not very strong, or B, kind of dangerous to have happening like 5 inches away from your fingers. I can't think of any method that they could implement that would make water fusing beads work that wouldn't be one of those 2 scenarios. Like it's either going to be crappy and not seal together properly and break apart, or it's going to have some kind of reaction that heats it up to like 9,000 degrees and burns children's hands off. All right. And that falls in line with everything that I've read about them. People saying that they fall apart, they don't really stick together at all. All right. And then place those 2 down. Two right there. Bam, bam. All right. As you can see, Clive here fits easily on 1 board. All right. 1, 2, 3 across. One down. 1 up, connecting it up there. And then we have a little cross right there. And that connects us down there. There we go. Our little outline is complete. Now, Clive does not have a whole lot of colors going on, but it looks like his eye color might actually be this spruce right here. But I think they were going for more turquoise with his eye color. Okay. Definitely a little bit darker than turquoise. Might be this one here. Yeah. Put that down for his eye color there. Okay. I think for skin tones, let's get these out of the way over here. For the skin tones, he's got more of a yellowish skin tone. I think we're gonna stick with sand. I think the sand and butterscotch combo will work well for Clive too. That right there. Two more right there. And then one more right here. Then that right there. All right, kind of that double cube thing going there. One right there. And one right here. All right. Two right there. Two up there. And then I think the last two right there. Yeah, I think that works. Okay. We need the grays, which are in 5 here. The beds that are in 6 and 7. I have my little trays numbered so that I can tell them apart. Okay. So first, skip that here. We're coming in here to get white. We need 3 of them. 2 of them right here. And 1 of them right there. Yeah. That's it for white. Now for red. I think we need an actual red and we need a dark red. So we'll just use like actual red here. Right here. Yep. 2 red pieces right there. And then on the other side, up top, red piece there. Red piece right here. And a red piece over in the hand. Right there. All right. And I think we'll use this crayon apple for our dark red color. Because it'll set up real nice next to this much brighter red. All right, and I think we're done with that. All the remaining colors on Clive are variants of the color gray. A lot of gray on Clive. Okay. We've got light gray, which is here, and gray, which is here, which I think we're going to use both of these. Because we're going to want light gray right underneath that piece. And then the diagonal beneath that is also light gray. And then it looks like this piece right up here is going to be light gray as well. And then these 3 right here are going to be light gray. There. And right there. And then right directly below that black piece, we have another one. And I think those are all the light gray components. And then with regular gray, we have right here. And then it looks like we have 2 right there. Another one right here. And I think the rest of these are up here in the hair. Okay, there and there. 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 Yeah. Okay. Oh, we have a little bit of brown on him. Like right here at his, in this part right here. This is brown. Okay. So I need to decide what this color and that color are going to be. And I think this slate color right here is going to do good with this color. Yeah, and right there. Hum hum hum. So I wonder if I were to play this. And then slot that in like that. Can you tell the difference? Honestly, I don't think you can. The difference between them isn't sharp enough. So I need something darker. Oh. I think I may have a solution in a different book. If I come back here and pull out my browns, which I think come out of my second tray here. Okay. I need to pull out these 4 brown pieces right here. I was thinking of maybe cocoa could fill in that spot, but I don't think it can. So I could lighten the grays across the board. like bring everything up a shade. Or I could roll with a different color, such as midnight. But I don't think midnight really fits. How many tones of gray do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4. I could use this as the fourth tone. Okay. Okay, so we'll do that. We will roll with, I think, charcoal as a super dark color. Two pieces there. And like that. Let's go ahead and just build down our grayscale chart like this. And that's our scale of gray that we're going to be using. These two seem to be interchangeable in their color value. Okay, but yeah, those are the ones we're going to be using right there. Okay, so we need to pull these out. Okay. Yeah, two right there. And then an angle up from that. Like that. There. Bam. Okay. Right there, and then right over here in the corner. Two right there. Two right there, and one right there. Complete that little diamond pattern. One steps over next to the black wall piece there. Alright, and then this area down here is filled in with dark gray. Bam! There we go. right. Now, moving on down to the boots here. We got the dark gray. Front one there. Back right there. Over here where the hand is. Right at the bottom. All right. Okay, so which is darker? This color or this color? I think this one. Yeah. I think we're gonna have to eliminate a color of gray out of Clive here. Okay. I don't know, those just don't feel right. Okay, we'll just use dark gray. Yeah, I know I keep changing my mind on it. But we will highlight his hair in gray and dark gray beads. In charcoal and dark gray. Right. There. There, right there. Right there. All right. Put that right there. On you. Okay, here we go. Boom. And go right here. And lastly, right here. Oh, nope, not lastly. One more. Alright, and then we'll come in with the light gray beads right there. Or I guess this is just regular gray. All right. Bam. Right. Just right there. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. 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 Installing the last couple of these. Yep, and then right above it. And bam. Okay, I think that's Clive. Now we can return these. Okay. Now, as I was mentioning, for smaller perlers like this one, if you're looking to store it where you're not going to like iron it right away, you can absolutely do this and pin it between two perler boards. And then you can use your tape, because I know you have it already. Be careful to not let the board separate, like I just did. Because you see several of the beads popped out. But after you get it, like that. Yeah. After you get it, like, sealed down like that, you want to immediately tape it, and then be very careful when you're untaping it, so that it doesn't fall off the board. Okay. Now, I can pull Altare back out here. So we'll scoot Clive right up there for the moment and bring Altare back out to the forefront. Now, you want to pull the tape off the back. Usually this stuff comes off fairly easily. Alrighty. And there we have our guy, leader of Guild Tempest, Altare. Okay. Now the finish on one side is kind of the iron flat, and you see I can actually go back over these a little bit later and close these up a little bit if I want, but you're looking for kind of this finish where they all turn into little squares, or kind of a flat finish on one side, while on the other side maintaining the bead pattern. And with it, ironed like this, all the rigidity of the piece comes from this side. And like these beads on this side are not fused together at all, giving you like more of a perfect bead pattern. I prefer to do my perlers like this because some people like this way of doing it, and some people prefer this way of doing it. And this way you can just flip it over for whichever style that you want. And I don't have to iron it twice. Because if I iron these beads like this and just leave them where they're like only melted around the edges, that doesn't give it enough structural integrity to actually stick together. You would need to flip it over and then iron the other side the exact same way. Yep. Alright, so that's it. We got Clive and Altare. And I will be taping up Clive and ironing him off stream, so you guys don't have to be subject to that. But keep an eye on the YouTube and the Twitter, because I will be tweeting out both of these guys right after the stream when Clive is all finished up and ironed, and Altare here. So yeah, I'm planning to do another Perler stream tomorrow, where I think I'm going to take on Mr. Magni Desmond and Torgal as my targets for tomorrow's stream. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. That's going to be it for the stream for today. And I'm hoping to make these Perler streams kind of like a weekly thing, something fun to do on like Sunday to like wind down a couple of hours of perler making like 1 or 2 perlers, and yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Nari out.